Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about my predictions for the NGS headline because the NGS headline is coming in a couple of days. So the very first thing I want to go over is, of course, where can you watch the NGS headline? It will be available on YouTube, as you can see here, on March 25th, 8 p.m. my time. However, for my friends in the States, it will be at 5 a.m. PDT, so pretty early for you guys. Nevertheless, it is going to be airing in 4 days. I will leave this link in the description below so that you can just click it and maybe bookmark it, or maybe consider subscribing to my channel, as I will be posting a recap video since it is going to be the new NGS headline wave. So for those who don't know, Hiro Arai has stepped down as our NGS headline host. They are no longer the host, and our new host is Yui Hasegawa. She did host several NGS headlines whenever Hiro Arai was unavailable due to family matters or whether they were sick or whatever. So we have seen Yui before. Now, the thing about NGS Headline Wave is I do not think they're going to be copying the same format as NGS Headline, where Hiro was like, hey, we want things to be concise, bullet point form, and, just get to the meat and potatoes of, whatever the update is about. I have a funny feeling that NGS Headline Wave is going to be a little bit more similar to when they were teasing New Genesis back in the day, where it seemed more like a talk show. They had a comedian, they had a whole bunch of other personalities, and they just kind of played like mini games and stuff, and it was less about, oh, here's all the content, that's the show over. It was more about, hey, these are the things that we're working on, and here's some funny things here and there, and it really seemed a lot more like a talk show. And so, yeah, if that's not your cup of tea, then you might want to just skip the NGS Headline Wave and just come back to my channel where I'll summarize everything. But don't be surprised if this NGS Headline Wave ends up being like 2 hours long, because that might be the direction that they're going for. Since if we look at the actual content available in April to May, it is very, very bare bones. As you can see, we do have the NGS 4th anniversary, which is of course the Halpha Super Origin Festival. So this we had last year. They have this every single year, which is great. So just a super glorified seasonal event. Then we have the new Standing Quest. This is actually really funny. I forgot what Standing Quest was, so I actually looked up my old video on what the heck a Standing Quest was, and look at my hair over here, man. Look how short my hair was back in the day. This was actually recorded an entire year ago. We had Susu over here, we had Emmy over here. This is the good old days, man. I still had the gold badge, I didn't have the RGB badge yet, and yeah, good days. But nevertheless, the Standing Quest is actually Lucille Exploration. So they did showcase this in the previous NGS headline, where they're like, oh yeah, we're bringing Masquerade into Lucille Exploration as a special boss. And people were like, what the heck? Even I was like, what the heck? However, obviously it's going to be a very watered down version of Masquerade. They're not going to put floor 100 Masquerade into Lucille Exploration. It would be really funny if they did, if like for one day they just put like ultra hard Masquerade in there and just let Masquerade absolutely slaughter everyone. I think that would be really funny. Like, let's say that there would be like an RNG trigger, like while you're running Lucille Exploration, there's a chance of getting Enraged Masquerade as the final boss or something, and then it's actually floor 100 Masquerade with all its movesets. That would be really, really funny to see, and it would be a pleasant surprise. However, I doubt that will ever happen, since NGS is trying to cater towards more casual gameplay. Nevertheless, the next thing is the limited time quests times 5. So yeah, more LTQs. We will not be getting any relay quests or any time quests, so that is going to be a little bit unfortunate. I don't really know why they took out the relay quest. I feel like relay quest was a good addition to the game. They could have kept the relay quest on top of the LTQ to earn a bunch more seasonal points for the 4th year anniversary, but yeah, I don't really know why they didn't add that. However, the highlight for April is gonna be the Braver expansion. It would be really funny if they added the Braver expansion on April 1st and then said, oh yeah, the Braver's been removed from the game. I cracked this joke several times on my live stream, and I think it would be hilarious if they actually did that. Then I could make a super clickbait video being like, I quit NGS because they removed my class. However, I don't think NGS is actually going to do that. I don't think the PSO2 team has that sense of humor, but nevertheless, that's an idea, Sega. It would be really funny if they did that. Then we have this new campaign of free SG scratch ticket items update. I don't really know what this means. However, hey man, if it's free and it's star gems and they're scratch tickets, sure, you know, I'm more than happy to pick that up. Then of course we have the collaboration scratch ticket of the anime based on the light novel, and if we look at the previous NGS headline, you actually already know that it is the Niji Sanji. As you can see here, starting in mid-April 2025, we'll be kicking off a collaboration featuring the 4 Niji Sanji virtual livers. I don't really know why Niji Sanji is under the category of anime based on a light novel, unless this anime based on the light novel is going to be a May collaboration. I'm not entirely sure why Niji Sanji is under this category, but nevertheless, these are the things that have been confirmed. Now, when we head over to the description of the NGS headline wave, they haven't given us any clues. It's more or less the same stuff, saying that, hey, there's going to be a letter from the dev team over here letting us know what they're working on. It's obviously going to be right before the operation report. There's going to be a revamp to the program, as they said over here, and then they're going to be showing more updated information and videos of what's ahead, what to look forward in April, as well as the new collaborations, and then more operation report stuff where they will answer our questions and comments. So overall, I'm not expecting that much from this NGS headline. I think they're gonna pad it with a lot of fluff where it's like, oh yeah, comedian game show, let's do silly things and say NGS and stuff like that, just like what they did before when they were teasing NGS when the game didn't release yet. They put like 4 episodes, I believe, where they had like game shows, talk shows, and a whole bunch of like different activities with like the hostess and some other guest appearances. So I think that's what they're going to be doing, because if they just talk through the content itself, then it's going to be a very, very short NGS headline. It would be done in like 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes tops, if they just blast through all the bullet points and all of the main video content and stuff like that. But nevertheless, the main thing that I'm excited for is going to be, of course, the Braver update. The Braver update has been something I've been waiting for a long time. I really hope that they bring the katana's damage up a little bit so that it can be competitive with all the classes that actually got their rework. You know, Force is super powerful now, Fighter is super powerful, Bouncer is super powerful. There's a lot of classes that are really, really strong after they got in their reworks. So yeah, hopefully the Braver rework is going to be good. I know Bow, a lot of my Bow mains out there, you've been left in the dust for a very long time, just like our Force mains. So hopefully with the rework, Bow mains will actually be viable and be able to do all of the hard game content and just, you know, just do good damage overall. But as for me, I'm still hoping for katana changes. Well, no, not really changes, just fine-tuning, just give me more damage in general, I guess, and make the class a little bit less reliant on counters, since counters seem to be pretty much our only damage. If we don't counter, we don't do much damage. So hopefully there's a little bit of fine-tuning there.
Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe. And I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.